ekwana beya enkaban won declare state of emergency was here no hu hia eno nya de ebeso gadamse ano ewo mem na emomu no wonum enhwe kwan fofo nsentwofo edi enkomo na Ghana eye mampani abedi etwe enso so akokasa ewo national dialogue no ase na wonum bia no nsem wode kwato dwa Kasie boy mu yebebo mu na afe yakoyanim ewo ensem fufuro emu ende ukopie mu ewo yewura sasamdwora na kache won so de nsem bi atodwa fa gadam se kwane aban we de faso a wogide se ebetimi aboa ma gadam se no won mu eto ase Youth Employment Agency and Ghana Prison Service eso no won mu ahwe ema eye waye ye prison assistant from kwagin titie no ene won mu apo won mu ehu ye do be kodwede ense sid na ho ode se de na mahodo so de tie no ye bebo mu na afe ni gide mu nsam na manone aba wa kwan mu akanse mu nsam eka ho bi medin ene da chehima afia akonwa etwe ho aba Kasie bono emunchiremu enie Ghana ahwe ema ene wonomo afi eye national dialogue on decentralization to strengthen local governance no wonomo ahwase ewon kwan mampeni abedi etwe professor na opoku agimane ekokasa ewase wo say sade aniama ekono ebraso say wonomo eye ensachare betimi aboa na eye ankwankran so na se Ghana de shebetumi wo mu tumi bia betimi aboa ma amammo no aye akono na ayefo gidi se wo msi sa gine na beboa ma Ghana mpunto akonkan.
And when completed, the policy and strategy will provide a forward-looking framework for transferring power, authority functions, and responsibilities from the center to the sub-regional level. I expect that this dialogue will not only enrich the content of the policy, but also help shape the implementation in concrete ways. Government continues to support the committee and secretariat, which have been most effective in coordinating reforms in Ghana so that they deliver on their mandate as prescribed by law. Ladies and gentlemen, the national dialogue we are commencing today is therefore an opportunity for government, development partners, traditional authorities, civil society, the private sector, and citizens, all of us, to renew our commitment to building a decentralized local governance system that truly serves all of us. The outcomes of the dialogue will guide our policy for the next 5 years. Even more than that, they will redefine how we govern and perceive ourselves as a nation. Government is keen for the lessons and insights to be gained here to be translated into useful reforms and tangible improvements in service delivery for efficiency, inclusivity, and accountability. Let us envision a Ghana where governance is closer to the people, where institutions are responsive, where citizens are active participants in shaping their paths. May this national dialogue provide us with the necessary clarity, courage, and unity. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to declare the national dialogue on decentralization and responsive governance open.
Jatwa and Samno Esudiana, Chief Justice Paul Bafu Boni, one is Swakasa say, oh, one on share, one a judicial service, no one more iron could fan one terminal, come a year pa. And decide the bread hour on the ashes, I would say, or Babwa, one na Bacabo Ayajma, Metimia Bois, ma emranim adwuma titiri ewo memu no enuonyam ekura wo mu no akosoa atena se woresemi atu dwa bra okopie mu ewo Ghana Law Society a eno no ewo nkwan obro koso no di nkomo ene woresemi yi atu dwa.
I've told my brother here, my brothers who know me, that I'm going to run a very open administration. Fortunately, I have, because of the length of time that I've been here, I have very personal relationships with a lot of the members of the judiciary. So I know I'm going to work with them. They are going to cooperate with me. But as I said, the judiciary, the bench needs the bar. And so we are excited that you have also pledged to support the judiciary and its intendments. And then at the end of the day, it is justice for the people that we all seek after.
Afeye fa yeni entra gadam say ensem emu na Ghana Guide Company twenti afra Grid Co e de abetu dwa say gadam say eha se de gadam say fo bi wonu mo towers bie ene wonu mo tu wo e de asiso se sa bia ye ho no ene wonu mo etu agudi a enam makwan so ukoka so wuti yen wo mo atwetuo e de asiwo so enu ti sa de we hapa adan kwam mabinu ebeye wo haw kese ede ama wo mamuni na enye wo mo nko a na ensem we Frank Watcher we acting deputy CEO edema Gridco ede suja.
It become a near disaster because you know, as we talked about, the line right of way, you need to clear it so that when you need to do maintenance on the line, you can go there. Now, the right of way clearing becomes lucrative to galamseyers. And in a number of areas, our people go and see that overnight, people come and do their galamseying activities very close to our towers. Now, the towers, you see them as just steel members, but they are carrying a lot of forces and weights. And so the foundation is really calculated. In fact, they do a lot of studies on the ground to design. Every tower foundation is different, depending on where it is. And I'm sure these galamseyers don't know, but as you approach close to the lines, we are coming to the point where, in fact, there are some towers that we have had to rush in to do some intermediary reinforcement. Unfortunately, there are some areas that even when our maintenance teams are going, they get shorter, and some of them have had to run on. And so we are trying to see and leverage and get engaged, because in those areas it's getting to points where Gridco alone cannot manage. And so we need support from all the forces.
Wo galanse ho ensensemiya yi ana soafo abede tira wo hwe ensase ene wo bade ejapade wo de adom yeso fo magudie eka ho bie ononyamfo eye Yusuf Sulemana ade atodwa se abai we no kwan bia so wa yeta so gadamse no wetu ase afi wo mamu enu ti anchakra wo beto asrafo apete miamia hodo a wonum tu gadamse tichiu ani ensuanso wa eho wo se bebe won betagete pa aye mprempren ensuanso hodo a gadamse ekoso a enu ti no esese so se betimi abo no wonum a eye sa gadamse bi wo ho no wonum betimi etu wonum eso sama ensuo no asanso etimi esini dadam.
We formalize the small industry. All the challenges of what we call galamsey in this country. Now we have identified three major sources of galamsey. One, there are those who are on the river policy, destroying our waterways. And there are some who are also in our foreign reserves. And then we have some who are on the dry land, getting into school, whatever they are doing. The approach of the government is that those who are in water bodies is a no-go area. As already so, the military composition all areas around the river bodies where the government is taking place, so that we flatten out and constantly ensure that they don't go back to pollute our water bodies. Same will happen to those who are in our foreign reserves. When this administration took over from the previous administration, about 9 foreign reserves have been taken over. But as I speak to you, we are working tirelessly to ensure that these foreign reserves are renewed, even though we are still ineffective, because some of them want to go back to this foreign reserve.
Wagaram se ho ensemia yi na sentemo ende kuo bie ama wo homre so Ghana de hye bi eka se ensunsuanso agaram se ede bedi o men so no ebeha anhwa dachi Ghana yebeko ahihie mu pa enam sagaram se ya enti ebeya enka aban Tichu John Dramani Mahama won declare galamse state of emergency na entimi emwa na sansem we no na small scale miners association trese won matna sia dwuhudi sese mampani declare the state of emergency na no nchese galamse to atwa eno anye kwane a eso sampanfo efa so na wonum esia no kwan na momu no won mututu nhihye won munya nhihye a eno no beboa na ensem we no president Edema Small Scale Miners Association wora Michael Kwadwo Pepra na ekasaye ema kome.
The task force are members of our association, and they are we have mandated them to go on the various water bodies to make sure that any person who is found on the water bodies mining with impunity will be cleared from these various places. More so, when the media is talking about illegal mining, they box small-scale miners and illegal miners. One, there's a distinction between anybody who is engaging in illegal mining and somebody who has acquired a license to mine. The methodologies are different in the sense that somebody who is mining on the belly of a river has never been licensed to mine. So we are going to inaugurate this task force to make sure that anybody who is on this water body is being cleared off. We are in the communities and we know where these people are. And in so doing, the task force will work with the media so that people would understand the need to make sure that the people who are on the various water bodies are being cleared off. Because when the pressure comes, people always box small-scale miners and illegal miners. And that is what we want to let the country and guests to know, that small-scale miners are Ghanaians who have acquired their license and they are mining in the frame of the law. So anybody who is being seen mining with impunity and destroying our various water bodies, this task force is mandated to make sure these people are cleared off. We don't support the state of emergency in the sense that it's a lazy man's approach. In 2017-2019, the previous government initiated a partial state of emergency. That is the time Ghana became the leading producer of gold, and that is the time people were in the forest reserve mining with impunity. At the end of the day, the military that were sent to go and help in salvage the issue were accomplices in that situation. Ghana is not in a situation, and as a matter of fact, these things can be resolved. One, by using the peer review system. Small-scale miners are going to be the watchdogs in the various communities, and by using the bottom-up approach, we can at least make a better impact in this galamsey problem.
Yewra Michael Kwadwo Pepra eno no was state of emergency no eye akwadwofo adwuma sa obesi sa gina ye no kra na wagaram sensem ya ho no Yewra Sasam Jonah a wo ye executive chairman Edema eye Jonah Capital wonu so akasa fa ho wo se aban we mbre bia wo preso bekun garam se Now so ade baako bi wo ho asaban we yi firi mu a ebeye den pa se gadam se obetime to ase e wo mamu ni nyina no ene se wode ahemfo ebeka ho e wo gadam se ku a wo gidi se saban we involve ahemfo wo mamu a o gadam se no ne kuna beye kitwa bi na so yi wo mu si nchen a ebeha wode nsem we atudwa wa bra na wo kasa e wo fireside chat ya School of Communication Studies ewo University of Wisconsin one crime one more so
certain distance to the river. Don't mine in forest reserves. And always when you've created a mess, clean it up. The laws are there. So it's not that you need more laws. It is just that you need more enforcement. And you can only enforce when there's an important element that is missing in all of this. And that is the involvement of traditional leaders and the community.
Abusia ye figure am say ho ensensem emu na yentoa ensem no eso famma na Youth Employment Agency womo ane Ghana Prison Service aka bomo ema Ghana de hye mebru bi a wonam kwaje ntete ye say eye prison assistant wonam ba beboa eye prison officers ndwumadi a wonam adie no wonam ahwema ntete na ba we ya wonam apo wom ho na we no ekoso ewo Ankafo maximum security prisons eno no ewo infinfi mantamu we ane badge di kai kra a wonum akwakwaji sa entity ye eniti nei a ye yi wonum apie no siwo Adema Youth Employment Agency Yera Malik Basintali ekopie mu ane penfo bi wodin samwe etudwa ho.
It brings me joy this morning to take part in this graduation ceremony. The gallant young men and women here paraded as prison service assistants. I remember at the beginning of this training, we all didn't think or we all didn't believe that a day like this will be possible. Today, I realize that the commanding officers of the various security services were proud of your display and were so delighted that you were graduating into disciplined, well-composed, and well-mannered citizens of the Republic of Ghana. You live here today being well-mannered, being well-cultured, and being responsible, patriotic citizens of the Republic of Ghana. And we are proud of you all. My brothers and sisters, as I watched the parade display, the question I asked myself was, if we do not finally get all of you or almost all of you absorbed into the prison service, waiting we gain. And so I thought that it is in our interest to fight hard and ensure that at the end of your 2-year period as prison service assistants, we get as many as possible of you absorbed into the main Ghana prisons service.
Abusia yenko eye epoye mantam no emuen na wahima a wowo achim kotoku traditional area eye nana akua asantoa a wotoso miensa wode adehwede na ekọ ede ama ne manfo se wonum enhwe se ombema enkabom mapa aba wonum entamu esanse enkabom ene betimi aboa ma wonum achichi kotokuman ye pa na empunto wonum ehwe so no wonum sa etumi aka na nana akua asanto wotoso miensen wonu wo hema foforo kra a kotokuman wonum achino ewo epoye mantamu wosi asumdwe ayade wo munasi akonyoso wope enu betimi aboa no ema de sese woye achim kotoku betimi atumpon no etimi akoso na woni nsem we no wode chamane ebo ni black enim wabra adwumaje no ekoso ewo
aseni mai mesremo medina ne yankopo hata so esremo me dem be dia de manso de ensi aseni da nka nkrokro bi so na yɛkɔ na yɛkɔsiesie nyɛ asɛne ɛnso hwɛ ɛnɛ asɛne na ɛdan butu ɛyɛ ebia na nananom a wɔte so nso wɔ si ntonto wɔn nim etu wɔn a yɛafrɛ wɔn a wɔn criticize mo no montie na sopɛm na momfa nyɛ adwuma na wɔn a na ɛbɛda wɔ ho ne mo abɛyɛ baako na asomdwe ne yɛpɛ asomdwe ne yɛdedi he eti sɛ bibi ne a momfa wɔn sɛ wɔn yɛ atamfo monkorɔkorɔ wɔn mobɛnya kwan bi so mpo atwe wɔn aba mo ho na kyerɛ sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛabu ma no nipa baako nsa ntumi nkata nyankopɔn ani agye sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛaka bom eti me deɛ me baa asomdwe ne nka bom asɛm na mede baeɛ eti mesrɛ mo ne ɔbɛka kyɛ mo sɛ na ne nkɔ ni sɛ na ne mpere no ɔne akɔhwɛ ne yie eti asɛ bia no ntumi amoa mo kwan biara so ne yɛfa koro yɛ na mama asɛne maate sɛ kesi wankoa ne nipa a menimu no ɛna ɔno na ɔyɛ ɔhema
ɛno akyi no ɔba ahema asesie no wɔ mu agye na tum ɛwɔ akyem asene nana efia kɛsewa wodi kan ɛde to nimanfo enim sɛ ɔbɛyɛ na afem die bia ɛde asom wɔ mu
taso roka honti ɛto ho anamɔ ana bibia ɛwie pɛyɛ na sɛ nɛdɛ baba sɛne a ɛyɛ nsuo kɔ atɔ so ntubi na me ase medame maamnom ase ne nuanom ahemaafoɔ mede ɔm ase abusuapanimfo a mo nyinaa nkɔ nkyi dɔ mo nyinaa medam ase sɛ ade abayɛ ama me no ade akyi a mede nyame din ɛda mo ase
ne korakora mu no nana amoako a wɔno ɛyɛ kotoku hima agya asehene ɛde to odwa sɛ ɔba ahema yi wɔtu anamɔmpa ɛsan sɛ waboa ama ahensie ho nsɛnsɛm a na ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ akyem asene no ɛtoɔ etwa
ɛbɛ dwumadi a kotoku hima tu ninam mpaboa ba asane kurom a ebedi yɛ no ɛbɛma nkabo ba amanhyira so aba kurom nsuo atɔgu so ɛma na meetie yɛ mpaebɔ sɛdeɛ yɛn nyina bɛyɛ nkabo mu yɛde asom ɛyɛ nana ɔhema a wɔwɔ asane ahemafoɔ nyinaa bɛtaa n'akyi ɛbɔ n'akyi dɔm ɛma ahemfo nso bɔ n'akyi dɔm ɛma ɔma bɛwie dwumadie yi a na yɛ awurade na ayɛ awurade nkutoo ne yɛde n'ase ma no ɛsan sɛ wode ho to awurade so a ade ne nyinaa di boɔ ne yɛ wie ana ama asaneman ɛhu sɛ ɔmo wɔ ɔhema ama ɔma gye ɔhema no atom di a ne n'ase deɛ de ma awurade
Wo ensem fufuro mu no eyade a head ya woda waste management ano ewo Accra Metropolitan Assembly engineer Solomon Noi akasa afa kwane a ye fa so dane wura ani ewo man mu empo se betimi akwa amanone na de mfaso de enka ede abre wo man eho na ne nsam nyina ayetiawa wo se betimi abo mo man afaso ewo so a etwa se won mu de enhyehyeye egu apono so Adema ayesa waste plastic waste we are mountain so no kwana mbefa so adane mu no meyi enya so emfaso wo twerɛ mu se empo 100 bags of cement won betimi eresa plastics ya ayeye bia a ebeboa ate efi so ede afi emontene what is some way at Yamani Boni Black.
What we'll be doing is, as a city, we'll be setting up various points and collection centers by putting some cages and receptacles at vantage points at the markets, at the lorry parks, at some public places where the inscriptions will be boldly written on it, the types of plastics that should be put in there. Aside that, we'll also be training the informal sector waste speakers to be handling this special project. And by so doing, we want to, as much as possible, retrieve what we call the legacy plastic waste. The plastic waste that has already been dumped all over the city of Accra, we want to target them first because they need some form of cleanup before the processing. Then the fresh plastic waste that is coming with this plant, we are sure of at least capturing about 80% of such plastics for processing. So you will find them in the environment. And once we do this, it will go a long way to keep the city clean. Like I mentioned, we can clean the place. And a small wind due to rainfall will just blow up the plastic elsewhere to wherever you cleaned. And so we're finding that we have to do this to be able to get our hands on the job. Whilst doing this, we are doing this in our capacity as a city, but we also entreat the ministry at the ministerial level to put in policies that will help to restrict or put some cap on the quantity of virgin plastics that can be imported into the country based on the capacity we have to process. So that it shouldn't be, it is like as it is now where they are allowed to bring in any quantity, whereas we do not have the capacity to manage that quantity. So with this plant, once we see how it goes, we also liaise with GRIPE, the big industries, so that they can also put in investment in a take-back system where we can even institute some awards for which company was able to get a take-back system that retrieve almost all of the plastics that they churn into the environment.
Abusia yenya nsemi so na yentwa ye ho yaba agye ni sikasem etwa enimere Kasie eso.
What we'll be doing is, as a city, we'll be setting up various
and Ebusu Edamansoa, what is your senior pedianani? Now so media, Mercy Skin Care Products, manage who say, and my meridiania moton, nothing so, and it's a wine. A bra, made one summon an otitru, a jarry papadieri. Sunny a mini pediano who hear minty, and tin a media da. Mercy Skin Products, one summoner, any one kuno, some of the sramitrimua, and mommy tin you in the 2 year. Nothing so, if we Ayare webe to say, and for nini, and also pimples, a yam, and so once a webe say any pedianani, and I feel so, Yarewa, it's me behani pediano, Emma, a say, a year through. So pen the door to Frey 0202 511 214, and also 0243 250 702. Mercy ointment, Shishako Kwam Samoa. And money pediana who affair a daddy. Sada boy Ghana Food and Drugs Authority, I am Munshemu, Edwin Sa Asha say.
Afe jedie eri sikasem na enei penfo dia betu dwa say yadia Ghana this year baku empem 9 a handsome 4,700 and one him say one betimi nya adwuma ye ewo man mu esan say $863 million dollars and a nay etmi abeka Ghana ensa enfa ho ene sadia amanhodo so enyema ekwa entokwane adeade na so nei first half pe ewo 2025 mu no report here FDI ediaba no say investment promotion centers GIP one ne kese nu so oh Ghana economy eba investment ni ade nti we yakonya ade matechu emabunu a ene adwuma ye ewo man emu
Wo June busu minumu ewie yenumu no ene namso a Ghana Investments Promotion Center GPIC wo ediba isem wo tumi register project afoforo kra eno 76 na wo chemo say wo hwe FDI value a eginas abroche sika no $862.96 million. Na chese ejina ho ohanchichemu ahasa ediowotwe baako ne chiripo eye ediokron baako na chese akonenim wode toto eye 2024 dia na eno eye abrochi sika no $179.07 million no na chese eno no wode toto a eno ekonenim pa eye na eye manufacturing sector no nso nkuntebuo chirimo se project awodo omo register ye no eno eye 32 sanso ena eye general trading no nso eba no eye highest value ewo FDI no nso a eno nso kwogina abrochi sika no $622.92 million. Na wo hwe eye reporter eba ye na wo mu chemu se project ahodo ni nina no eba no eye enwumemu ana chese enam 4,707,000 eno betumi aboa amanyuma sam a enkoye no etumi egina ne na so afenso ebeboa eba no investment ahodo ewo man Ghana emu a JPIC area to dwa se wo hwe o man Ghana bo aye boye homodin se amama ya ahodo ba be di wondwumedie ewo man Ghana mu netumi aboa sikasem etumi akonenim no ochiromo sasese no eba no eye performance pa ye ewo amaya hodo a womo edi womo dwumedia na wondwedie ba oman Ghana mu a China ene di kan ochiromo se wo first half ewo afimu no womu etumi eye project eye eduonu mienu 22 China free honoma India ene toaso na womu project a wode ba ye eye 14 Nigeria de eye nwotwe afenso wo hwe United Arab Emirates and afe eye UK dia womo so die no eye 9 USA and a dasit position afe nso wo hwe eye project miensa a free amaya hodo bi nso so a Liberia eka ho Mauritius eka ho bi Singapore eka ho bi and afe Turkey nso eka ho ebi
na enedey ebobosome da etoso aduonu enum no Bank of Ghana nkuntebu a wode aba efe sika no ene amanoni de no wotwese se Ghana cedi no $1 no ejina 12 cedis 30 pesos.
Eviti enede ebobosome da etoso aduonu num no Bank of Ghana edi wo rate eba ya ni no efa cedi ni dwedie wochiromo sese cedi ni dwedie e wo dollar no so no 12 cedis 30 pesos a wochiromo se enam so ama the pressure pa ana abeto local currency no eso ni no enam wo hwe eye demand e free foreign exchange na enenam so a sesie no eye pressure eda eye cedi no eso na wo hwe cedi no so a ebre pa ye enkenka ene interbank ana afi eye forex market no esan se cedi dan hodin no akofom wochiromo se enam se cedi na hodin na ba fom ti ehun sunsanso no ebeka eye pump stations ahodo na wochiromo se enam so ebema eniema akonenim pa eye asetino mo ba yeden ni no enam se cedi na hodin no abafom aban so yi na afemu die bia enu ti na wo hwe enimu ase nani suade hunu no ebetumi akonenim edi afa cedi no se de cedi no ahoden ebetumi echina na na so bio ebi eye single digit inflation a enu eye afinu ewieye na wo hwe ene day wa bra na abot no wotwe a wochiromo se dollar no to no ewo cedi no so no akwakogina 12 cedis 29 pesos na wo mokoton so a akwakogina 12 cedis 30 pesos pound no so ne to no akogina 16 cedis 53 pesos na ne to no so akwakogina 16 cedis 55 pesos euro no so ne dwedie no ejina 14 cedis 43 pesos na wo mokodwa so koton a wo maton no 14 cedis 44 pesos Omampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebo ne homodin se wobetumi ahwe amasidi na hoodin no ase gina ne naso na niema mu a emu aye den no ni nina no wahwe atoto niema amamu ayemre ochom sesese no hwe US Ghana Executive Business Roundtable na ni nina no efa sidi ni twedie ewo ye forex bureaus ahodo ewo man Ghana mu na wochom sesese de beye na sidi no ebetumi egina ne naso na akonenim na aboa ama sidi neni monyama san bebiem no ochom se ni nina no se nhyiemo no betumi aboa ama sidi no asan akonenim ama enimonyam abasidi no mu
abusia yenjina sidi nsensemi eso na yenton kraya ba agude mu nsem eto akase no eso
aboa ho pii ɛna ebusu edama nso a wɔde siesie nipadua n'ani nanso me de Mercy Skin Care Product m'ani gye ho sɛ ɛma